This video is in regards to me answering questions that come into the mind of a person who is considering to become a psychologist or is a psychologist. So the first question is that if we have a certain trauma in our life, if we have gone through mental health challenges, are we truly meant for this profession, or would we not be able to survive this, or are we even right to help others through it? So first thing first, I think that personally, in my own experience and in my own journey, the things that I suffered with, the problems that I faced, everything that I went through, that is my core competency area of my service. I help others in regards to the solutions that I got for myself, that I can now give them. I having an experience of the suffering that they are going through actually helps me guide them well. Just imagine a scenario that if a person is a smoker, has been a chronic smoker for 7 years, that person would be a better guide than I am in regards to helping a person move away from smoking, because I don't have that experience. But if I have experience of anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, relationships, career, changing different things in life, that would be my core competency area. So I don't think that books are the only source of wisdom. I think that we grow in our own life, and that wisdom, that experience kind of directly makes an impact into the people's life who we come in contact with. Secondly, I think that it's more important for us to be in the field because our sensitivity is something that will help them, because most people who come to us are sensitive and vulnerable. So people like us leave the field, reason being the same, that we think that we won't be able to manage. It will take a lot of time to adjust, adapt, and learn things on how to detach ourselves. More importantly, we will have to find ways to relax and come to peace ourselves. So solution being something that we are considering to give to the people and being there in their life in their most difficult moments, one of the most important things is that we can stay in a state of peace. So our phone is here, it's on silent, I am here recording this. If a phone call right now comes, I can see it. If it's a very urgent call, I can take it up and I can call them home, or I can arrange a specific time for the session, taking up the call continuously talking to people, continuously taking a number of cases which you are not having the ability to solve, or you don't have the capacity of intake as much. We have to learn as a counselor that okay, this is my area of competency, this is not. So another trick that we use is not a trick, just something that helps everyone, is that before taking a session, you ask them, hello, yes, what are you going through? Usually people do not ask this, they just call the person because it's earning directly. But if we are supposed to stay in this field long term, I think that it's very helpful if we get a tiny bit of information before calling them into our house or giving them a session and making it a commercial service, because then expectations are made and you have to be there for the long term. So just asking and getting a feeling that you will get at the point of talking to them, that should you take it or not. And that feeling kind of with experiences, it grows in itself, because you will get a call and you will feel fearful, and yet you will call, and that counseling will be the best counseling you did. And then the next time you won't be as cautious in regards to feeling anxiety, because that anxiety could be fake. So next time you'll take the call and you'll be like, I'm feeling a bit anxious, I can take it. But then there would be telltale signs that okay, this is the type of counseling that I do not want to take, this is the area that is right for me, this is how I can approach this is where I have to refer. So it's a process which is slow, in which we actually do it and we learn slowly. Another question that has been asked is, how do you take care of yourself? How do you come to peace after the counseling session? So people usually do not understand that it is not just 1 hour of a session. We have taken 2.5, 3 hours of sessions when we started. So any session that takes, let's say, 1 hour, before that we have to prepare ourselves for at least half an hour. So half an hour before the session and half an hour after the session is a time that is important for us. You cannot just keep taking sessions one after the other. So before they visit us, before the session starts, we are supposed to come to a state of peace. We are supposed to let go of our own problems. We are supposed to write our own thoughts down and set them aside and come to a state of highly, in a higher state of consciousness and at peace. so that we can be there with them completely consciously, because one word spoken here and there can actually impact their life. So half an hour before the session and half an hour after the session is your time. So before the session is preparation and coming to a highly elevated state of peace, and the after the session is actually letting their thoughts go, maybe sending some messages which are incomplete in regards to what you wanted to say but you could not stay in the session, and then actually going out for a walk or just chanting the holy name of God, or if you have any relaxation techniques, doing that. If you want to just do something else, do something else, but do not have sessions one after the other. You have to have some space for yourself in which, if there is a thought that's important to them, you share it with them, and if there is not, you go, you wash your feet, you just rinse your mouth, you just wash your face. If you have a shikha, you wash it, you can just rest. And if the session was very traumatic, you can have a lukewarm water bath. The many ways that you can find for yourself which help you let go of a person's thought, because they go but they stay here, and we have to take them away from here to be there for them in the long term. Because if a person is continuously here, then we will not be able to manage our own self. So letting go, getting closure ourselves in the sessions is very important. Now somewhere someone commented that counselors take a session for 1 hour and they kind of end the session at 1 hour limit. So I've been taking sessions for 2.5 hours, 3 hours. When I started, they reduced to 1.5 hour for around 2 years, and then they became very strict 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour sessions. The reason being, I very slowly realized that I was draining. So initially when we start, we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of prana inside us through which we can help others. But there comes a time where every minute after the 1 hour window, every minute after the 1 hour window kind of connects us to them and it drains. Slowly I realized that it's very difficult for me to end session, because I come in a state of flow around the 60-70 minute mark. In career counseling, I still take it for 1.5 hour, but when it comes to life issues, I think that they made it very practically. I always kind of look down upon it that you should not interrupt session, you should not end them right away. So I stretched myself and I was completely drained, only to realize that they made it this way not just about commercial purposes, but around do ghadi. We say it in Hindi, do ghadi means 24 minutes is one ghadi, 48 minutes is two ghadi. Beyond the time of two ghadis, that is 48 minutes, everything that we do kind of drains us, kind of connects us with them. So now we have to learn to remind them around the 40-minute window that okay, 10-15 minutes are more remaining, and it max we should kind of try to end the session in 1 hour, 1 hour 10 minutes maximum, because that's something that's very important. Even if you do not have a session, you should end it. You can call them again, you can not take a fee if you don't wish to. If you want to really serve, even then you can have a session after 6 hours, but don't continuously stretch yourself to a session which is 1.5 2 hours continuously, because only after realizing that a person can understand. So I understood a bit late, but it's right. You just have to give them the right closure in the session, and also take closure. You can actually have 5 minutes for yourself to summarize what you wish to summarize it to them. So it's not just closing them, you have to close them, but also close yourself in the session if needs be, and that's helpful. Yeah, these are some of the questions that I recently answered. Another insight in regards to counseling is that we only make it about words. So words don't always justify. Sometimes I think that we have to use our hands and create visuals. So in a sense that if a person is going through anxiety, what they're doing is they're controlling life, they're trying to make life perfect. So just this visual that you're trying to control, and if you just let it go, comes a state of peace. This is a visual that stays with people, not just words. Then I used to make a battery percentage meter in career counseling. So this is a battery percentage meter, and sir, what do you want? Do you want money or you want to serve others? Because sometimes both cannot happen together. So how much is money important to you, and how much is your fulfillment and seva important to you? So once a person grades this, like once a person visualizes this, once you can help them understand their problems in terms of visualization. I have an OCD video in which I am pulling the door like this, that you just check by pulling the door once, so that you don't check it back again and again. So small things that we do in terms of our behavior in the visual senses, They really help things to go beyond the words so that they can remember that visual, and visuals kind of go deeper. So if we can attach visuals through our practice, that is really helpful. And another point that I was going to make was, again, before the session, as we mentioned, that half an hour we prepare ourselves. How can we chant the name of God? How can we come to a state of peace? How can we elevate ourselves so that we are at peace and very consciously present with them? The more aware and present we are, the more elevated we are, the more in a sattva mode we are, the more they will receive the answers. We sometimes think that I won't have an answer, how will I have a session? You just be at peace and be in a meditative state. You just chant God's name and be highly elevated, and then problems solved by themselves. Your effort is good enough, but more important is your presence and your strength and your vibrations at that point. So be in a higher state of vibration, and problems of the other person solved by themselves. And the last point being, take care of yourself, because it's not a profession that's easy. Every good person kind of leaves us after a time. So 2 sessions a day, at max 3 sessions a day, proper gapping between the sessions, taking care of yourself. Have another activity like teaching for you in regards to monetarily balancing your life. If possible, do something creative, create videos, because they kind of help us. Because every day you solve problems, every minute you solve problems, then life becomes a problem solving statement. So have something creative to do on the side that you can do, because we cannot just stay while doing nothing. And if we don't have a counseling, then we just go on reels, or we take more counselings than necessary. So a person can be a teacher, a person can create content, a person can work an odd job which is clerical in nature, a person can completely devote themselves to spirituality, teaching Gita, anything on the side which is not problem solving continuously, because we need that space. And if we don't have a space which gives us money on the side or fulfillment on the side, and if this is the only thing that we keep doing, I don't think that it's very healthy for us to do this throughout the day, in and out sessions and sessions. So balancing your own activities, balancing your own money, and having a balanced life while having this profession is very helpful, because then you're not dependent on this and you don't stretch yourself in regards to this. What else? There is something else. Yes, and then you have to have fun. It's like, it's a very serious profession. Everyone is coming and they are crying on the phone, and it's like our nervous system gets highly active, and we feel like we have to be in the zone with someone, and we are kind of connecting to their energies, and sometimes they affect us. But after the session, we have to go and we have to have fun. We have to just tease your mother a bit, and irritate your father a bit. You just send a small comedy joke to a friend, and then more importantly, chant God's name more and more, and devote yourself into their service. So small moments of happiness, and thoda sa pagal man, just becoming a baby again after the session, because it's like only a person who can be a bit joyous, childlike after the session can only manage this amount of trauma. So it's like this much trauma comes in, and then you need to let it go by surrendering to God. And at the same time, you have to be very playful, and smile, and spread joy in simple small ways, so that you can actually come to a state of joy and peace in your own self, so that you can charge yourself to help others. Visiting a temple, if possible, because doing parikrama and just surrounding yourself around those energies charge you. Chanting the name of God is the ultimate support, strength, and protection as a shield to you, that those vibrations do not affect you as much. And the most important thing is that we have to relax ourselves in the session. Everyone is working everywhere, everyone is rushing, everyone is doing and doing and doing, and then after doing work for 8 hours, a person relaxes. This is not a sprint. We have to understand that we have to relax ourselves in the job. When a person is speaking, we get tense to give them a solution, we get emotional, we get attached. We are supposed to relax ourselves in the counseling act. We are supposed to relax ourselves in the activity, or else we will get traumatized, we will get anxious, we will just be panicky. So it's not a sprint that you just run, and then It's a very slow marathon in which there are breaks that you have to take. We have to relax in the act itself. Act and relaxation, act and relaxation, act and relaxation is how the world has worked. But in our profession, to manage ourselves and just to be sane and healthy, can we speak slowly? Can we pause between speaking words? Can we stop trying to impress them? Can we tell ourselves that we will refund the money if we have to, but we'll be relaxed in the session? Because essentially, your peace is primary, and the more peaceful you are, the more peace you can give to others. The more elevated you are, the more you can elevate others. The more you chant God's name, the more you can bring others close to God. So, you understanding that this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. You are supposed to be in this profession with a long term. You are supposed to take it easy. You are supposed to filter cases. You are supposed to tell them that, okay, now this is not right for me, you can go to this sir now. You have to slowly create controls for your own self to be the person, the counselor that you are considering to be. It's a very service based profession, and there's a lot of seva involved. There's comparatively much less money than most professions, and still people come to us and we cannot every time take money. So devote that, surrender that service to God, and everything would be fine if only you learn to manage yourself. Because it's very important that we manage ourselves in the journey. Because I've quit this space twice. So after 6 months of counseling, I quit the first time. After 1 year of counseling, I quit the second time. Everything leaves a trauma, and we cannot just be around those energy all the time. So that is where I started to feel like, okay, two, maximum three sessions in a day, and they should be spaced apart. And that's my system that I created. You have to create your own systems to come to peace, because you have to do it for a long time, and you have to do it in a peaceful manner so that it's healthy for you. So manage, create boundaries, serve and yet be detached, and many things similar you learn in the process also. So my sincere prayers and best wishes, may you serve others well and lead them towards good solutions and ethical decision makings and towards God, because that is where implementation and things happen. So yeah, my prayers for you.